Welcome to Knuckle Town.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, know what I'm about, have your cloud. If you're raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
Welcome to Knuckle Town.
A slow burn like a deceiver. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can.
Yo, welcome to the KO Show with Big Face, man. And as always, I'm joined by my partner in crime, the founder and facilitator of the Extreme BKFC fan page, Russ Maxam Jr. What up, Russ?
What's up, baby? What's up? We in the house.
Brother? Damn, I ain't seen you in almost a whole day.
Right?
I miss you, brother. How you doing, man?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream. Just got to spend some family time, keep wifey happy and stuff, so I can keep going these events.
So how was the travel back? I know you left right after the fight.
Yeah, I had to go. Wifey had a lunch day with one of our kids' friends, so it was a promise I had to keep. So I just had to bounce real quick. It was 4-hour ride, wasn't it?
So let's talk about our latest trip, man. Of course, we were there live at the fight night in Miami at the Vivo on Friday. We were there for the weigh-ins on Thursday. Of course, you had your setup, man. Great event as always, man. A great card with a lot of exciting fights, Russ.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was the first fight that I've ever been to. I think the BKFC's ever had that was outdoors. They tried to do it in Del Rey, but the old retired people had other ideas for us. But yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful venue. Awesome being outside and stuff. And it was a huge crowd, sellout crowd as always, standing room only. It was dope.
So while we're talking about that, I do want to mention this that came to me while we were there. Now, I've been to several, these last couple have been standing room only fights, especially it seems when the amateurs and the prospects are involved for some reason.
It's crazy.
They tend to, and no one complained. I don't hear one person say, yo, it's standing room only. I heard nothing. Packed to the gills. I saw nothing but people enjoying themselves.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. It was an awesome crowd. Like you said, everybody was having fun. Wasn't no incidences that I could see, no crazy stuff. Nobody was upset. Everybody was happy, partying, enjoying the fights. And
it was star-studded. I mean, you had a lot of the local fighters from the area and fighters from Florida and out of state. You had Gallo popped in, had a large crowd around him all night. Captain Deadpool was there, Jared Warren, Crystal Pittman, of course, them, the first I like to call them the first couple of bare knuckle. Right. They was out there. I mean, you had lots of stars. Britton Hart, of course, the strawweight champ of the world, was in the building looking fantastic. They just all come out to support, man. And that's the feeling you really can't describe to people who aren't involved in bare knuckle.
Exactly. It's definitely a family atmosphere. I mean, it's awesome.
Well, a lot of amateurs. And before we get into the main card, of course, shout out to Juan Carlos Rivera, Baby Tank, man. He lost in his fight, but all heart. You know, the community loves him. Shout out to Ryan Danger Rencibia. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you'll be pronouncing it correctly soon enough because that kid looks awesome. The buzz around him down there is amazing. And the knockout that he did was the fight of the amateur cards for sure. And he set it up so beautifully. Watch the replay, man. Shout out to you, Danger, if you watch it, man. Drop that left shoulder, overhead right, just textbook, man. Put him down. What'd you think about the kid, man?
Nah, he's awesome. He's awesome. I seen him at the first amateur event I went to in Miami. And I mean, he came out all flashy and stuff, dancing, the crowd. I mean, the crowd was erupting. It's crazy how that was his debut. And he had so many supporters. It was nuts. I mean, everybody was going crazy. And I seen why, because he went in the ring and did his thing the first time. And did the same damn thing this time. He's awesome. He's definitely on his way up.
He looks really smooth, a star in the making for sure, man. And had the crowd behind him for sure. He definitely has that. Miami, man, like I've been telling people, you know, of course the events are great everywhere, but it just feels like it's the heart and soul of the bare knuckle I mean, every time you go down there, it's electric in the whole city, man. And the fighters, they really come to fight, man.
They do. And I said it, and I'll keep saying that Florida, we got the monsters over here. Bring the asses. You want to fight some monsters? I love everybody.
So let me ask you, man, what was the fight of the night for you, Russ?
Fight of my night was probably the same fight of the night that Feldman and BKFC thought it was. Venom Rodriguez. That was awesome.
Franco was game and she had mad heart, but man, the skill level was different. It was apparent. Rodriguez came in there and just was hammering on her, man. And I mean, kudos to Franco for not going down. Ohana, mahalo to you because you represented. And I said this before, and I actually sent a message to Jules today, who's the matchmaker for the females in BKFC, Jules Gray. I'm going to say this. Before this, man, I kind of, okay, the female fights, were boring to me in outside organizations. But when I came into the BKFC fold, the women fights are some of the most exciting fights every card, man. It's just amazing to me.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, Franco's nickname isn't fearless for nothing. We saw that 1,000% in that fight against Venom. But Venom
Rodriguez obviously ain't called Venom for nothing because there's a stinger on them hands, bro. There's a stinger on them hands. So just so you know, man, we came on live a little bit late. I want to tell Russ because everybody, I had some, I live in a condo complex, of course, and there was a fire alarm. When I stuck my head out, they said evacuate the building. We had everybody outside. It looked like something major going on. Every fire truck in town outside. Well, come to find out, somebody heard a burglar alarm go off. One of the kids playing football came up and saw his door was open because the door came open, and he said he saw smoke.
Oh my God, it's a fire.
We outside for 35 minutes because you saw some smoke, bro. That was somebody's blunt.
Right.
The man's blunt time. So I do want to say, man, I enjoyed all the fights, of course, all night long, man. I'm trying to just look at my notes here. Of course, H.D. Davis handled his business, looked really good against Sean Wilson, who was game, man, but he folded him like laundry, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Folded him up like laundry.
Yeah, I mean, he knocked him down twice in the second, and the ref had to stop it. And then a minute 34 in the second round for his TKO.
Once again, though, 8 main fights, 9 main fights, 7 knockouts. 9 main fights, 7 knockouts. Once again, the 80% knockout ratio of BKFC lives on. It's not a myth. It's real facts.
Definitely is. It's a different kind of combat sport, man. For sure.
Okay, so one of the other really talked about fights, Russ, of the night before going into the fights was, of course, Meyer versus Fames. Fames has a lot of notoriety down there, pulled up in the giant big Jag, But to me, man, it didn't look like he came to fight, man. Brandon took it to his ass the whole fight. Fames was not very active. Of course, afterwards, we hear him say he has things going on in his life. But how did you feel about that fight?
Yeah, I mean, I seen him when he fought against my boy Glendale Futrell, and he has a problem with cardio. It just seems like because he just gasses out way too quick. And I mean, he just showed it again against Beast Mode. Not to take nothing away from Beast Mode at all, but Beast Mode did the proper thing. He knew that he gasses out, and he just kept the pressure, and went Beast Mode on his ass, took him out.
Brandon Meyer looked great, man, and that was the drama, right? We were at the weigh-in the night before, remember? We were right there about 15 feet away. When they did the head-to-head, they touched foreheads. Fames thought it'd be smart to give him a little slap. Brandon came real quick with the left hand after that.
Not with Beast Mode, bro. That shit don't play with Beast Mode.
Said after that, you said, I don't know who you think you playing with, man, but I don't play that shit. So, and what you don't really need is to piss off one of these boys. They don't need any extra motivation. I'm going to just tell you that. And what I've seen is whatever you got a mad fighter in there, man, you're going to deal with some shit. And he definitely had to deal with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's right after their damn weight cut and shit. They're still hangry and everything. I mean, everybody gets something to eat, but you still got that anger in you and stuff. And once you get in them bright lights of the weigh-ins and everything, all eyes are on you and stuff. You don't want to play no games. Beast Mode showed him, fucking play with me.
So Russ, you touched on something there about the gas tank of these fighters. Now I want any young fighters or anyone watching and listening to understand that you can punch them bags all you want. I know it looks good on live, it looks good on Facebook, be punching the bag. but you got to have that cardio. You got to get up and make those runs. You've got to have the gas tank. The rest of it won't matter. If your arms feel like lead after round one, which is what's happening in a lot of these fights, you see, guys they don't have the cardio. They just don't have it.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, sparring is probably, I mean, I'm not a fighter, but if I was, I mean, sparring would be my number one thing to do, because it seems like all the fighters that brag about how much they spar are the ones that are excelling in this sport.
Well, I would definitely spar, but I get up every morning and I get my 20 miles a weekend, bro. You know, you got to get 20 miles of road work. I know, you know, I work for a living. If I want to do any type of workout, I got to do it 4 or 5 in the morning or at night. I know a lot of these guys sacrifice a lot for this lifestyle. They have to have odd workout regimens. But the first thing you need to do is get out there and get that road, especially 6 weeks after the fight, man. Get you 15, 20 miles a week on that road work. And when you get in there, it's going to be light work. And, you know, the tension, man. You know, there's a lot of tension in these fights. You got to, the best are the calm guys, the ones that aren't too jacked before the fight. They just ease like, okay, I'm going to use the young guys as an example. Danger. Seems very laid back when you talk to him. Kind of cocky, I thought, the first night. So I interviewed him on the weigh-ins, talked to my production team afterwards. Was like, man, that guy's pretty confident, pretty cocky. Then I talked to somebody at BKFC, and they said, yo, that kid can fight. And the next day, I had to go back up to that person from BKFC and say, hey, yo, that kid can fight. Like, fight, right?
I mean, other than it's not cocky, it's just confidence, I think. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's
in his case, yes, definitely.
Yeah, other than Juan Carlos, he's probably the most amateur fighter that I talk to. He's always in my DMs, we're always chatting it up and stuff. He's super cool. It's just one of the extra things that I like about the amateurs and stuff. I get to actually have relationships with these guys from day one and watch them and promote them all the way up to the top.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Of course, we were there at the Mahusky Casino and Resort for the weigh-ins, and you were there with your table, with your whole team, doing as you do, getting all the pre-pictures signed by the fighters, all the posters given out that you personally have made for them, and all that you add to the event. It's very important, man. I want to give you kudos right now. You're my guy, bro. The sport would not be the same without you, man. And
it's all for these guys. And I wanted to send a shout out. I was going to wait to the end, but since you brought that up, I had one of the debuers in my DMs this morning, and it kind of almost brought tears in my eyes. But Polgar, he just wanted to thank me, and he said, thanks for making me feel like a superstar. That's what it's all about.
I mean, that is what it's all about. And these kids are stars, because I talked to several of them, and I told them all of them are so gracious to us, maybe the media or whatever we're doing there with the broadcast. But I said, listen, guys, if there's no one to get in that ring, all this you see, all these 50 people working, guys setting up rings, guys setting up cameras, doing all this, it would be for nothing if we don't got the dudes with a heart of gold to get in this ring and give and sacrifice and risk their lives to entertain us.
It is. And like I said, every single fighter that steps in that squared circle is a superstar to me. I mean, that's flat out. I mean, if you got one, I believe the definition of celebrity or whatever, if you got a couple fans that ain't your family, I mean, to me, you're a celebrity. All these guys, they got multiple fans and stuff, 100%.
Well, not just that, man. We know, we've seen this happen. You more than anyone have seen the homegrown talent grow the last few years in the BKFC, have seen the way these younger guys, like maybe 2 years ago, El Gallo, now El Gallo, you see him come out there, man. He got a crowd around him. He's got little kids coming up to him. He's taking pictures. I mean, it's just great to see it, man.
Yeah, he's the king of Miami for sure. I mean, one of the other podcasts put a question out there on IG and asked who was more popular in Florida, if it was Superman Allen or Duran. And it just depends on what side of Florida you're on. Miami, Duran got that shit on lock. Ain't nobody bigger than Duran down here.
That is true. So any other fights stick out in your mind as we're talking about the fight night, man? Any of them stick out in your mind? Concepcion looked really good.
Oh, yeah. Merck for sure.
Man, come on, man. Hey, come on, man. Merck, man, swore it. Hey, bro, made my night, man. Made my night, because I know what this cat, and nobody's more available than Merck, not only to us, but to the other young fighters. Right. Jacob Villasenor says he can't go anywhere without somebody asking him about El Gallo. He just
Right.
commented, that's true. I said, but man, to see Merck, triumphantly come back, man, he just sworn to do guy was very outmatched. But
bro, he had a 28-second KO, bro. 28.
I mean, for real. And he grabbed a hold of him, bro, and he must have thrown 20, 25 punches in that clinch. People can say what they want, bro. Ain't nobody taking them kind of punches. And man, for a guy like Merck, he's great for the sport. He's great for the organization. He's great to the fans, man. I ran straight. I don't normally do this, but I left my spot from where I was at, ran around to find him, hugged the dude, man. It was a genuine moment. I'm super happy for Merck, not just for Merck, but for us too, man. He's a great fighter, and I love to see the future of what he's going to do because I know what he'll do for the people around him, the young fighters and his community. It's very important.
Oh, yeah. And also, not to take absolutely nothing away from Lights Out, Williamson, he stepped up in 2 days' notice. If nobody's seen that post that Nolan put up, I guess he was training, running, like we were just talking about earlier, and he rolled his ankle, so he had to go to the emergency room to get it fixed. But yeah, I mean, Lights Out, straight savage in the MMA. He stepped up, and it just wasn't his night, but I asked him after the fight if he planned on coming back, and he said, hell yeah, that he liked it. So hopefully we see him back there because he looked like a beast.
He is definitely in shape, and I talked to him, interviewed him, more of a wrestling background. But you know how that goes. Fighting like Mr. Feldman said last week when I spoke to him, this is not boxing, this is fighting. And if you got that dog in you, he's never going to turn his back on you. So I mean, but you got to come in there. You can't take one knee and quit. You got to get up. And we saw some guys take some vicious shots, go down, man. Speaking of that, HD put together just combos. He looked so clean and polished. He really looked like his head was back together, man. The whole all-in management team, of course, was out there in bulk. Them guys travel around in a huge pack. I was able to talk to Vic and get an interview with him. Huge plans. They seem to have a lot of muscle behind their fighters, Russ.
Oh yeah, they do. They do. That's an awesome team. And I mean, the biggest thing that I can see just talking to the fighters that are involved with that management team is it's a real true, they give a fuck about you, you know what I'm saying? And they help you out, anything that you need. They take a lot of the pressure off of their fighters and stuff, like outside pressure that we don't see, that other fighters have to deal with on their own. I mean, they kind of cater to them and stuff and help them out, which is awesome for a management team to do that.
Well, and with the signing of Lane last week, which we heard in the news last week, they signed Lane. They got some of the most visible young stars in the sport, just beast dogs. Possible they could have a lot of gold over there under that management tree in the next year or so.
Oh yeah, yeah, they definitely got some savages over there for sure.
There goes Marcus Lights Out Williamson right there, man. Big shouts out to you, man. Respect to you, man. Absolutely. I mean, ain't but a handful of men in the world that'll get in that ring right there. And we look forward to seeing you again in the future, brother.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Brandon Meyer, we talked about him earlier. Kerry, Brandon Meyer was a dog. He came out there and put it on Fames for sure. He put it on Fames.
Yeah, that's their manager. Shout out Carlos.
Oh, absolutely.
Management team he has also.
They did great. It was a great showing. We also, away from the ring that night, we talked to a lot of stars that were in attendance and a lot of talk about LA. Everybody wants to talk about Los Angeles, man. I've never seen a show 2-3 shows away get as much buzz as that show's getting, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be, I mean, Dave Feldman's already said it's gonna be the biggest show that BKFC put on, and it's kind of hard to believe with the couple shows that they've had in the past.
Absolutely. I mean, but like you said, they throwing everything but the kitchen sink at it. Of course, we had Lorenzo Juggernaut Hunt there with Sean Whitlock calling the fights all night. I was able to speak with him after and get a good interview with him where, I mean, he's ready for Mick Terrell. And I know there's lots to talk about the size of the two fighters. Juggernaut's huge, bro. He looks huge. Dude is ripped. He's in shape. You can guarantee he will have gas when he gets there.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's crazy because he goes to just about every event that he can, just show face and everything, and It's like every single event that I see him at seems like it just gets bigger, bigger, and bigger. It's like, what the fuck, man? It's crazy.
Hey, Big Ben, BKFC 41 was before my time, bro, Russ. They said, Big Ben said BKFC 41 was getting buzzed for 5 months. Well, we on to 59 now. So I mean, that's way back in the day, man. So that's another thing we talked to Mr. Feldman about was the amount of shows this year, man. You know, they're used to doing like 24, whatever. They're talking about doing 50. I mean, it's double the shows. You've already seen it, man, especially the Prospect Series and Amateur Series adding to these shows. A lot more fights for guys. This is what they wanted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a good thing for Dave and his team to do, just to come up with more shows, more opportunities for these warriors to get in the square circle and show off their craft and get more fans, more followers, more sponsors, and to help them out. So it's awesome.
Production seemed to tell me that 41 was not that long ago. 41 wasn't that long ago. That's Big Ben. You work in LA. I see Big Ben said he's working LA as well. I think everybody's going to be. I think even fighters that aren't on the card are definitely going to be in LA. And they may be adding, you know, they're not done adding to that. I'll just tell you, there's another surprise coming for all of us for LA that we don't know yet for sure.
Oh, I'm sure Dave's got some tricks up his sleeve. There's a lot of fights that haven't been announced yet that got to be announced. You know, soon.
Well, and Kai keeps slipping little sweet nothings on the internet. Give me Jimmy, give me little Jimmy, give me little Jimmy. So do you honestly expect to see that maybe announced for LA? Do you think so?
I think it will. I think it will happen.
I think so too.
And it's another title fight, so it's automatically gonna get some tickets. It's one of the biggest cards, the biggest card that BKFC is gonna put off. Jimmy Rivera has a huge following in California, so it just makes sense.
May 11 at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, correct? Am I wrong or right there? May 11, is that what he's talking about? Mohegan Sun, you see that he's saying May 11th would be the Mohegan Sun. Is that the Ferreira Hardy fight?
Yeah, that's where Ferreira's fighting. Yeah. I've actually heard rumors also that they might fight over there too.
Yeah, I thought about that. I had been saying a couple times on air and stuff that it was LA. I want to apologize for that mistake because I just assumed, hey man, the biggest star in female fighting would be there, you know. But they're gonna have a fight over there and be the main draw there. Shout out to the Misfit, man. Dope, one of the dopest champions in the world, for real.
Right. Yeah, she's awesome.
So I'll definitely be in Connecticut. Shout out to my brother Josh. That's where he was born, and he's a Greenville product. He's very proud of that, and I'm sure he'll be in attendance. We got Salem coming up. We got Connecticut. We got LA. We got Tampa. We got so many shows. Your boy is going to be wearing wooden shoes and flying a hang glider. My son is eating ramen, and he's used to eating filet mignon. I don't know what kind of fish that is, but I serve it to him all the time. He said, Dad, what kind of fish is filet mignon? I don't know. I can't eat no fish with bones in it. I know that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fight. I'm going to try to get there.
I'm trying to get everyone, bro. If you see me doing this, just stop and get me, bro. If you see me like this, just stop and get me, man. Don't leave me on the side of the road. Shout out to Big Country, man. Of course, you know, I was stuck to Country Ship the whole time, man. I love you guys, man. It makes the event so much more fun to be going down there and linking up with your friends. And that's another thing. You come to these events, man, a lot of guys come, you get these relationships. It's all about relationships, not just with the fighters, but with us. You know what I'm saying? You guys do a lot for the sport, and you do a lot for me. And I want to take this time on camera to say, man, I thank you, Russ. I couldn't do what I do without you guys. You're a huge part of it, man. Thank you.
Nah, I appreciate you, brother. It was good meeting you. And
we've been rocking ever since. We've been rocking ever since, baby. And shout out to Matt, the CEO, Matt Seibel. We tried to put him in the dirt this weekend, boy. We went long and hard. By the time we got to the casino, Friday night, Saturday morning, we're just sitting around. Country said, you want a Cuban sandwich? I said, yeah. He said, it's 4:30. I said, shit, my plane leaves at 7. I'm an hour away. So 29 hours, no sleep, back to the North Kakalaki I went. Man, but I tell you what, I was so jacked. I didn't go to sleep till I got home, man. It's just an exciting event, man. The fights go by so fast, man.
Oh,
it's like you can't take your eyes off of it. Me and Country found a beautiful perch right there in which to see it from, because you had to find you a vantage place out there, man.
Right.
It was so packed. You know,
it was crazy.
So, of course, the president, the CEO, David Feldman, spoke to him a little bit the night of the fight, before the fight, and he said, this is a little bit of an experiment. The outdoor venue, the smaller venue, opening with the prospect amateurs. I think all those things went off. It doesn't seem like they can do much wrong these days.
No. I remember in the beginning and stuff, they tried to do the smaller venues and it just didn't work out because there weren't assigned seats and it was just a clusterfuck. But yeah, I mean, as they get better, as they grow, as it gets more popular and stuff, they get the people, get put in the place that need to be there and everything running smooth as far as I can see. I'm sure it's chaotic behind the scenes that we don't see.
Shout out to Andy Hall. Shout out to all those guys that make that happen. Shout out to Kevin, because it's amazing. I don't know how they do it. And I see them, and they got time to stop and say what's up. They're pretty busy night of the fight, but everything goes off. Them boys know what they're doing. They may need some help, but they got it. They're professionals. They know what they're doing out there, man.
100%. Yeah, you see, that's all you see during the fight is just Cranston going this way, Andy Hall going that way, Kevin Smith going this way. It's like, it's crazy.
That is true, Corey. BKFC is growing. Once again, we say this all the time. I'll say it till we blue in the face. It's the fastest growing combat sport in the world, and the fastest growing organization in that sport is the BKFC. They're leading the way. Tony Jenkins versus Duke Sensley meets. My man, Knuckletown says, Tony Jenkins versus Duke Sensley. This is from my own home base here. What do you think about Tony Jenkins versus Duke Sensley?
Yeah.
That ring your bells?
I think that'd be a good fight.
They might get you over there, get you in there with Nate, man. The way you be coming up with these matches, bro. You be shooting out these flyers. I'm like, man, is that I be thinking they're real fights because they're legit. All them are legit.
Yeah, I just get I just hit up the fighters and stuff when I'm bored, which is hardly ever, but the fighters might DM me and say, hey, I want to fight this guy. Let's try to get some traction on this and that. And I'm more than happy to throw it out there, see what the fans feel, and attach Nate Shook. And so if you guys,
want to say
on the page and you happen to see a fight that you like, comment, hell yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, to the fighters. And fighters, I think, are aware of this. They're self-promoters. There's no better self-promoter than the fighters. Drop a link to Russ, and he'll start a barn fire for you. He'll start a little ember burning, and then the sport, we just take off from there. I do want to say, there was a fighter, I believe, making his debut, Lopez, the tall. He wasn't in the amateurs. He was on the main card. Lopez had the designs in the side of his hair.
Oh yeah,
knocked the guy out. Looked crazy good, by the way. Another Cuban fighter with an extensive amateur background. Okay, you got to watch out. He's in the Perdomo camp. Perdomo introduced me to him at the weigh-in. Shout out to Latin Loonies, Christian Canales, because we're about to start out that Knuckletown Deportes, and we've got a hell of a lineup for him for the Spanish-speaking bare knuckle fan. You will soon have a show that is completely in Espanol. You know what I'm saying? For the fighters, they can say what they want to say that don't speak English, and we've got quite a few. And those Cuban fighters, sneaky, man. 100, like Perdomo's had 100 amateur fights, man. So here you go in the pros. You don't know much about this guy, but this guy's oiled, man.
Oh yeah, I seen him in the.
That's right, the Cuban horse. That's right, Big Ben, the Cuban horse. That's who that was, Caballero, the Cuban horse Lopez. He looked amazing.
Yeah, he had a 30-second knockout of Mogenberg,
and it was ill too, man.
It was fun.
Yeah, Corey, we talked about Fames a little earlier. Corey Rivera says, "How do we feel about Fames?" Tell him how you felt about that whole Fames ordeal, man.
Yeah, he just definitely has to work on his gas tank, Corey. That's what we were talking about. Last couple of fights that we've seen him in, his gas tank just isn't there. Doesn't have it.
And, I understand. I heard some rumors. I'm not going to say them on here because they're rumors. But, I mean, there's lots going on in his life. And as a fighter, if fighting ain't the first priority in your life, you're probably not going to be that successful. It's not something you can have one foot in and one foot out.
Yeah, that's the one bad thing I'm finding about the Miami scene. It just seems like all those Miami fighters, there's something going on behind the scenes, a lot of trash talk, a lot of fake stories going out about them, and there's just a lot of hate. So, I mean, I'd like to see, obviously I can't tell these guys what to do and stuff, but I mean, I'd like to see them just shut their social media off for a couple weeks before the fights and just don't worry about all that. bullshit in the ends. And then us as fans, I mean, it sucks when somebody hears something. I mean, I go by the old phrase that I believe nothing I hear and only half of what I see. And I wish everybody went by that, but there's just certain people that just love drama. And as soon as they hear something, it's gold, and they jump on these fighters and they jump on everybody before they even find the real truth out and stuff. And a lot of these fighters are sensitive to that stuff. They don't like, their name is everything to them. You know what I'm saying? So if you go shitting on their name, then that can get in their head and they can mess with them.
Well, for sure. I mean, a fighter, honor is very important to most fighters, and that's their honor. I will say this, there seems to be a lot of distractions in Miami, and this is where good management comes in. Management needs to be taking these bullets and like you say, let the fighters shut his social media down, let the managers run it, let them have, their people, gas everything up. They don't need to be involved in that. Of course, some of these guys, once again, BKFC being the sport that it is, some of these guys are street guys. They're street fighters and they're street guys. And you know how that goes. A street guy's not going to let you shit on his name. He's not going to let it happen. So once again, I think as the sport evolves, you see managers becoming more professional, the whole thing becoming more professional on the fighters. And of course, BKFC's been professional since the beginning, but the fighters are now saying it's a profession. And I think you'll see as it evolves, the ones that are good, they'll adapt to that and they'll change their way. The ones that aren't, they won't, and they won't. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's just those clout chasers that think that they're bigger than the promotion and think they're bigger than the fighters and stuff, and they're not doing it for the right reasons. So
while we're on here, I do want to ask you about something I've been seeing. I've seen this a little bit. Maybe it's more than not as much as I'm making it out to be, but I've seen that Albert Incline continues to poke Rambo Russo. They're going back and forth, back and forth. Rambo won't say his name out of his mouth. Of course, Albert's doing screenshots and all this. Rambo wants to fight in LA. I believe he's set up already to fight in Florida in April, I think. April, March, May. I think May. I think he's like, he can fight in LA and he can come fight in May in Tampa. But then Incline's, of course, going back and forth. What do you think about that, man?
Yeah. I mean, Incline's a beast, and he's also a beast on social media. He likes to call the fighters out. I mean, he's a good fighter. He just wants to call everybody out. He doesn't want anybody, BKFC, to give him any kind of like bullshit fight. So he calls the big names out. And that's the one thing that goes with what I was talking about earlier with the shit talk and everything. And everybody knows that Rambo Russo got arrested, all that stuff. But us as fans, us out here looking in, we got no idea why. I mean, in my opinion, he got arrested by the feds. He was out in 2 or 3 days. If it was something as bad as what it sounded like or what he got arrested for, he would still be locked up. They wouldn't put a bracelet on him and let him roam around, and especially not let him fight and stuff.
Well, that's part of the gig. I mean, even, anybody in that celebrity spotlight, if law comes involved, then of course people have plenty to say about it. It was a huge story because there we were, February 2nd, and Rambo has a twin brother. So while Rambo had left the venue in the custody of the boys in blue, Rambo's brothers walked around, people thinking, "Oh, I just saw Rambo." No, you saw his twin brother. But once again, Rambo's a great young fighter, one of the great young stars in the sport, grenades on the end of his hands. Albert Incline, he's a 1-2 fighter, but let's reiterate this, as Mr. Feldman has said, he's fought 3 tough wars against 3 good fighters, no bullshit fights, and he does come to fight. He comes to fight. So say what you want. He runs his mouth for sure. But, man, he gets in there and fights good fighters, and he's not trying to take no feds don't F up, in and out, made bail. Right, that's right. Absolutely, Torres, made bail. Thank God for bail money. It saved me a few times myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the greedy fan in me and stuff, but I would love to see Russo and Incline in the Hard Rock. That'd be dope.
Oh, man, what? Yeah, I mean, Russo deserves a date back at the Hard Rock. Of course, he's very popular Florida fighter as well, and I was upset that he wasn't fighting on that card myself. So I'm just, honestly, man, like, as a fan of the sport, as a member of the media, I just hope it all works out for the fans. I hope that means that he gets his stuff took care of, and he's able to continue with his career. That's what's up. That's how I feel about it.
100%.
So let's take a little time here to talk about LA a little more, okay? What do you think about, I mean, so we've heard a lot. I talked to a lot of people there that felt like, okay, the Alves-Perry fight, you know, it's a good fight, man. I mean, of course, Alves, it's a tough fight. It's a flip fight. But, man, all they want to talk about is that Mick Terrell juggernaut, man. That's all they want to talk about every time you talk to them.
No, yeah. Yeah, I'm 100% for homegrown BKFC fighters and stuff. I'd rather see them fight. You could have a whole card of these big names and stuff. I'd 1,000% rather see all of our homegrown fighters just banging it out. But I know on the business aspect of things, you got to have these big names with these huge followings and stuff just to keep eyes on the sport and keep more new eyes on the sport and all that stuff.
Well, the plan is going well, obviously, that they've had in place as far as using the name fighters on the marquee. You see now they're very close to huge cards with all BKFC fighters from the get. I mean, right now they're going to make a few more stars in LA. It's going to be the coronation of not only the BKFC but the sport as a whole. I mean, we know that it's popular. We see the people at the venues. We see the numbers that we're doing, that YouTube's doing, that everyone's doing. But they just don't know. They just don't know. And as soon as they know, you know this, man, as soon as they see it, they love it. Everybody you introduce to the sport's the same thing every time. I'm going to hammer it every show until everyone understands that. Right. The first time I bring somebody to one and they say this was trash, I'll let you know because it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Okay?
No, I've never had anybody that I showed a bare knuckle fight and stuff say that they didn't like it.
Right. Well, you just heard Carlos say, you out here making cards in Florida. They need some Orlando fights. They want some Orlando fights. You know, they got Tampa coming up. Alves is coming back after a long hiatus, but Alves he's a good bare knuckle fighter too, though. I mean, so it's not like he's getting somebody walking there don't know what it's about. Alves Pitbull knows what's up. Oh, yeah. And he's going to be looking to make some bones on Perry. And man, Perry's tough as nails. Been a great fighter for the sport. He catches a lot of negativity and positivity, but I mean, he's been good for the league for sure.
No, he's definitely the face of the BKFC, 1,000%. Definitely is. And it just seems like the more he gets hit, the more amped up he gets, and that's usually when people get knocked out. They start messing with him.
Shout out to Big Ben, man. It was good to meet you out there as well, man. And he said he saw new people out there. And they loved the fight. I was sitting next to a couple of Puerto Rican ladies at the VIP bar watching, and they couldn't believe it. And, you know, by the way, they had the screens in there in the bar for the first time. It was great. I mean, the way they handled the smaller venue. We talked about it. How are they going to handle this smaller venue? Country brought me over. Look, man, you're not going to be able to see here. I didn't hear anyone say they couldn't see. They actually set it up lovely, man. They had the screens where people could see. There was some elevation there. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were back, you were a little higher up than the chairs. So yeah. I loved it, man. First of all, I like the Vivo. We've had the weigh-in there for the February 2nd card, right? And we've had for 56. We had the weigh-ins there. It's just a great venue, man. And I bet you the powers that be at the Vivo are very happy too, because when the show was over, everyone stayed at the clubs and bars that are there. They got a huge bump, I'm sure, overnight with people partying there. We didn't leave till 4 in the morning.
Yeah, most of the time it's like halfway through the main event, the place is getting cleared out and stuff, and by the end, as soon as Cyrus gets in the ring and stuff, everybody's pretty much cleared out except for extreme fans like us and stuff that want to hear everything. But yeah, after that fight, you know, everybody just was hanging out with the fighters, getting pictures, getting autographs, getting drinks,
getting interviews, because we had a good little frenzy going there at the end, man, with some of the biggest stars in the sport jumping in on interviews. Of course, Juggernaut jumped in on Ryan Danger Alancibia and said, this kid could be a champ. I mean, that's the kind of buzz this young kid is getting from known fighters in the sport. They see what maybe we don't see. You know, they see a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. They see who he's training with. Of course, his family's a prominent family of the MMA community there in Miami. But, man, Danger made a name for himself this weekend, man. And then he said, I'm not necessarily looking to jump. He's a young guy, young guy. He said, I'm not necessarily looking to jump. I want a belt. I want to have the championship of the prospect amateurs. Go ahead, man. That's what I like to hear, man. He wants to be a pioneer. He wants to do something different. He wants to do new, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Nelson, and Lil Surge. Shout out Lil Surge.
Shout out to Surge, man.
They
Secret Agent Surge. Shout out to you, bro.
They got me working on a belt for the prospects, for the amateurs. So we're working on that real hard, trying to come up with some concepts and stuff and send them a little Surge so we can approve them and we can start getting some belts made for these young guys.
That's dope, man. Because I was talking to Country Day on the phone and I mentioned that. I said, you guys should do some belts for the amateurs. No, I never heard nothing about that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we got that's my head's always thinking about new stuff. I mean, even though I don't have the merch in the shop yet, I mean, I'm on the phone constantly with Max. Shout out Max, MW Belts, best belt maker in the world. But yeah, we're always throwing ideas out. He's always making stuff, showing me concepts that he's thinking about doing and stuff. And I just like run it, send it, and we'll throw it on the shop as soon as it gets here, and Dels can help me get it up there.
So I hear Grant is saying he's fighting Bryce in June for a title. I'm not sure about that. That's coming across the screen right there. I know we got to talk to Bobby Henry and we got to talk to Bryce Henry out there. Great kid, man. Super talented kid. And I don't think you realize how long and tall he is until you get right. But dude towers over me, man. And to carry that kind of height and athletic ability at that weight is crazy to me, man. Shout out to the Henry. Shout out to Bobby Henry, man. Best mouth guards in the world. You need some mouth guards. Go holler at them boys, man. Great family. Great family.
One of my family members. I don't say sponsor because I just got a team that's around me. We just help each other. I don't ask for no sponsorships or nothing like that. Just you're cool with me and I see that you're doing stuff for the fighters, I'm gonna throw your name out there and try to get you as much business as possible. So Glass Jaw Mouth Guards, Bobby Henry, that's my boy. And then I'll say it. Bobby Yaga is my favorite fighter, and I'll say it on here live. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. That young guy is humble. He's awesome at what he does, and yeah, I think Grant's just trolling and stuff. I think
that's wishful thinking, man. That's wishful thinking. They got huge plans for Bryce, and rightfully so. I mean, rightfully so, man. The kid looks fantastic every time you put him out there, man. Like I said, damn, super long at that weight. I just can't believe how he carries that weight. And he don't look skinny. He looks like he's in shape. He does. Like you saw him.
He knows what he's strong at, and he uses it. And he has fun in there. He's so relaxed. He's just smiling, laughing the whole damn time, probably pissing his opponent off like crazy because they can't get at him and stuff because you try to get in on him and he just jabs the hell out of you. So It's
kind of has a style similar to Austin Trout, a lot younger than Austin, but a very similar style and frame. Trout's a little bit bigger, filled out. Of course, he's older. But yeah, man, I mean, definitely with the outside work and is not afraid when you get inside to hit you with some dirty boxing and get back to his strength.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, that'll be a super fight definitely in the future to look forward to. Trout versus Bobby Yaga.
Wow, man. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Austin Trout, man. Big ups to him. Can't wait till they're very soon to announce. I'm sure. So I'm not sure if it's be Palomino first. Palomino's definitely getting the rematch. Not sure if that's happening first, but I'm sure they're about ready to announce something for Austin. You want to keep that guy busy because he's huge, a huge star, and I can't wait to see him in the squared circle again.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be Trout's next fight is going to be that rematch.
Yeah, we shall see. They took the leash off Jared and he going wild. Yeah, for sure. That's another thing. So I got to meet Jared, Captain Deadpool Warren, for the first time in person down there. Love the guy, man. Great guy.
Awesome.
Shout out, congratulations him on his recent promotion to captain with the firefight. I mean, a first responder, a true American hero, and a get in there and bare knuckle scrap your ass into the ground. Come on, bro. Can't be no more closer to my heart than that. We got to talk to him. Of course, he's a significant other is Crystal Pittman, and the first couple of bare knuckle. How about that, man? They showed up. They both looking good out there. That shit was pretty cool, man.
Oh yeah. The shift team, that whole team. I mean, they took me under their wing and stuff, and they're phenomenal. They are just like family, each and every one of them.
So somebody asked here, Corey Versa, so if Henry beats Duran, does he get title shot? I mean, I really feel like Duran's in line for a title shot. If you beat Duran, I mean, why? I could see them making a case for you getting a title shot for sure. Okay. So I talked about this today with Country. That division is so stacked, and I know everyone wants a shot of the title, but these fellas gonna have to start fighting each other, man. And it's so damn top heavy in that division, man. We are in line for some monster fights at the 145 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Allen definitely has to get the winner. I mean, if they do end up doing Jimmy Rivera and Kai Stewart, I mean, whoever wins that fight, that's definitely got to go with Duran, or not Duran, but Superman.
I think that sounds like I don't mean to cut you off, Russ. That sounds like a trilogy right there. You get Jimmy Rivera, Kai, the winner fights Superman, the winner of that fights Gallo. Man, I would sit outside and wait for tickets to all those fights.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 145 division is fucking stacked. I'd watch all them guys fight.
It's my favorite division. It's my favorite division in the sport. It is by far. And they got great personalities there too. Not to say that everybody else. There's great champions. There's lots of drama everywhere, but that just seems to be packed. And now we got young kids. We're watching them, right? How much you weigh? 145. Oh shit. They're coming. There's more of them coming. I mean, there's more of them coming. Right. So I'm excited about that, man. You got to be excited about the future of the sport every time you go to one of these. Once again, ultimately, shout out to the entire BKFC. Everyone that's on this thread that's an employee of BKFC, man, big shout out to you. You guys saw the vision. It's working. Keep doing what you're doing. We love it. I love it. Every event I go to is better and better. I just can't say enough about that.
It is. Yeah, it's definitely a fan fighter promotion. I mean, I've never seen a promotion where they let their fighters be so available to the fans, and the fighters want to be available to the fans. I mean, I've been to a bunch of different events and different promotions and stuff, and it's like the fighters get done and they're gone. They made their money and they're gone. I mean, these fighters, they actually come, hang out with you, chill with you, ask you if you want pictures, ask you if you want autographs and stuff, getting their names out there. I mean, it's like I said, the first event I went to was BKFC 32, and I fell in love with it just because of that. I mean, I met every fighter that fought that night. I got pictures with. If I had pictures, I would have got autographs with. I mean, from Dave Feldman all the way to the ring guys, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was cool as hell. You go up to them, ask them for pictures, they're more than happy to give you a picture and talk to you.
And they're more than happy to. Like, if you run into an Andy Hall at that night of the fight, even if you're just a fan and you ask him a question, he's going to give you a great, concise, intelligent answer, man. And that's how they are. It's definitely fighters first organization. All of those things, all those superlatives are earned and deserved. But what I'm tripping on, like you said, man, like, dudes is coming out with their whole eye rock shut. They don't give a damn. They're shaking your hand. They're smiling. Their hands are broken. They don't care. They're coming out to press the flesh, man, and that's great. I've been to going boxing matches all my life since my dad took me as a kid, and I never saw a fighter after a fight. Not one time did I see a fighter after a fight. The champ is coming out and saying, "Here, hold my belt. You want to hold it? Here, you take a picture with it." It's a crazy, and because they understand, no one self-promotes like a fighter. They're getting it, and now they got a platform. This platform's growing. They realize that, you know. So, I mean, just gonna get better and better, man. I look forward to every event. So what's next on the agenda, man? We up in Salem, Virginia. Is that where is that's next, or what's next? Is Tampa next or Virginia next?
I think Tampa's next. Tampa's next, and then Virginia.
That's correct. Tampa and then Virginia, and then back to then LA. I gotta look, man, because I got a whole list right here, and they're shooting out so many different fights, man, for each month. I'm gonna get fired from my A job.
Right. So we got BKFC Knucklemania 4 press conference is going to be Wednesday, March 20th.
That's next Wednesday. That's huge. I will be definitely tuned in for that. I can't wait.
100%. Then this Friday, March 22nd, is BKFC 58 in Bulgaria.
That's right. We got the Bulgarian Eastern Europeans about to knuckle up.
And then March 29th, BKFC 59 in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
So I was kind of eyeballing that one as possible Trout Palomino rematch. I mean, that's right there where Trout wants to fight. That's his home state. He big ups New Mexico all the time, but I don't know. I don't know, man. But that makes sense for Trout to be on that card. It really does.
You didn't take much damage. I talked to Palomino's coach at the fights, El Tigre. Shout out to El Tigre. And he was saying that Palomino's up in Japan, went on vacation with his family and stuff to chill, relax, get his mind right. And I mean, I've seen a couple IG FaceTimes with him and stuff, and he looked like he was calm, relaxed. So
I'll say we're probably more apt to see them in like the June time frame. But man, I'd love to see Trout on that card because he draws out there. I mean, he's huge everywhere, but he definitely draws out there in New Mexico. Plus, I haven't been to a New Mexico show yet, but I'm hoping to go to this one. Definitely want to because I'm hearing that the vibe there is very Miami-esque as far as Virginia. It's a hotbed. You go up there. Every time they do a show in Virginia, they're great. Same thing with Florida, Miami area. And I hear that Albuquerque is crazy like that, right?
Yeah, they got a huge fight crowds over there.
So we broke the bread on Canada. They're talking about, of course, doing Seoul, Korea, and Japan. They have some Japanese fighters and Korean fighters, I think, on this LA card, from what Mr. Feldon said, to introduce some of them.
Yep.
And there's also possibility of South American expansion. I'm hearing rumbles of BKFC Colombia or BKFC Brazil, which is crazy, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got South Africa coming up. They had to push that back, but that's going to be coming up pretty soon, the next few months. I'm hoping to see Jeremy Smith and Kaz on that one. That'll be nice.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, Russ. If you got anything you want to add before we get off, man, it is that time of the week, man. I appreciate you spending some time with me. Shout out to the whole Knuckle Town team. What do your shout outs, my brother?
All right, brother. Well, first off, I want to shout out my boy, Jonathan Miller. This is his shirt. Jonathan Big Baby Miller. We got to send some prayers, some love, some positive vibes his way. He's going to find out. He put a post up, but he took it down. He was kind of retiring because he got some bad news from his doctors. He was having a bunch of seizures Thursday night through Friday, and it wasn't looking good. But his doctors, hopefully he's going to get some good news this week from his doctors that he's going to be able to fight. So he took that post down. But let's just send all the love and positive vibes and prayers that we can send to Jonathan Big Baby Miller, in hopes that he can fight. If he can't, as long as he's good, that's all I care about. But love you, bro. Hopefully we'll see you in Virginia. Then my shout outs. First I want to shout out you, Face. It's awesome getting to know you, the whole Knuckle Town team. Appreciate you, Nelson, Lil Surge, the entire Josh, the entire BKFC staff. Love all you guys, family. Personally, I got Max MW belts. He's the one that makes the championship belts. Go to him. He can't make the BKFC belts for you guys, but he does all kinds of wrestling belts, promotional belts. If you want a personal belt, he can make it. He has the best prices and the dopest quality out there. Just shout my name out and he'll give you a real good price. Bobby Henry, glass jaw mouth guards, best mouth guards out there. Louis Lopez, before his next fight, needs to get one of those so it'll stay in his fucking mouth. Shout out to the Cali boys, On Point Finishes. I got another one coming on, but I got one on my desk that makes some badass personalized mirrors with lights in them and stuff. Real dope. Get with them if you want one. King's Fight Wear. Pretty soon I'm gonna be coming out with the fan. It's gonna be shirts like this. Don't wrinkle and stuff, and they last forever. You can wash them; they don't shrink. Gonna be coming out with the fan page shirts and stuff. And then last but not least is Jay Davis with Turp House Farms. Shout out to all you guys. Love you guys. That's my team.
Well, absolutely. First of all, shout out to all the fighters, man. Thanks for making everything worthwhile, man. Every time I go, I meet great fighters. I see great fights. And that's what this is all about. Shout out to them. Shout out to Extreme BKFC fan page. Of course, Russ and Countryman. They just open the doors for so many things, man. They got great relationships, and they put in the work. Shout out to all the Knuckletown team. Shout out, of course, CEO Matt Sable. Shout out to Welcome to Knuckletown, my guy Howie Aberton, the brains there. Shout out to, of course, Josh, Serge, Huge, Nelson. The boys are making crazy moves. Shout out to Mr. Feldman, all of them over there. But, you know, shout out to everybody, man. It's a family thing. We love it. There's nothing better than bare knuckle fighting, bro, and we in the thick of it. So until next week, me and Russ will see y'all next week. Peace out. We out, baby.
Welcome to Knuckletown.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud. If you're raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
Welcome to Knuckletown.
A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that